If you guys have been following my channel, you probably know that I like big weapons, and in this video I'm going to be going over some of the biggest swords in AQWorlds. If you guys enjoy this one, do me a favor and tap that like button, smash the subscribe, and hit the notification if you want to stay up to date with all of my content. If you are a big weapon lover, what weapons do you use in AQWorlds? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get started. The first weapon I want to mention is the Burning Freeze. This is available to anyone. You don't need to be a member to use this. This is a non-AC weapon and has two different visuals to it and looks great. It's also fairly big, but definitely not the biggest on this list. Now in this video, I will not be showcasing how to obtain these items. I'm simply showing you them. The next weapon is AQWorlds. I don't know if that's actually how you say it or not, but there are multiple versions of this big weapon. So I'm basically clumping them all into the same one. You've got the AQWorlds, you've got the Cheer version, a Boogly version, and like all of these versions look great. They all look absolutely amazing and they're all big. So basically, any version you have would be considered big. I forgot to mention this, the Corrupt AQWorlds. This is a huge weapon, and with the animations and whatnot, it is amazing. The Colossal Black Hole Sword, this is the next one, and is also a big one. This is also for free players. The Cyber Vordred sword, basically any of the swords that look big and wide like this, I consider big weapons because they look somewhat bulky. Fiend Blade of Nulgath. This is a Cyber Fiend Blade of Nulgath, and there's several different versions of this weapon. They're all fairly chunky. Another one I want to mention because it's chunky is the Deluge Dreadnought. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. This is a free weapon you can obtain, but it's wide, so that's why I want to mention it. When talking about big weapons, the Dragon Con Blade is definitely in that category because it is a big weapon. The Dragon Blade of Nulgath. I love this weapon. So big and awesome, and there's several different variants of this. Speaking of which, the Dragonfire of Nulgath is kind of another one. It's actually bigger though. This is another one of the variants, as is this one, and this one is another one based on it, but definitely looks nice. Another version is the Warden of Light's Blade, which looks like this. Very cool. Here's yet another example. This is the Evolved Dragonfire version. Exalted Apotheosis. This is another one I wanted to mention simply because it does look rather big. The Gilded Blood Warblade. This is a nice big chunky one. There's also another version of this, the Northern Warblade. Let's dabble in some of the Titan stuff. This is the Doom Knight Titan blades. Nice big ones. There's also enchanted versions of those as well. Speaking of Titan, there's a Titan Dracoth's blade. Nice big one. You've also got the Titan Paladin blade, which is also another big one. Following that is the Golden Paladin Titan's blades, which also look amazing. Then last but not least is the Titanic Destroyer blades, which is also nice and big. Hollowborn Omega blades. These are so friggin' enormous. Look at the size of this. Awesome. The Malthael. This is another weapon, not super huge, but because of the width of it, it seems kind of bulky. This is another one of those Vordred swords I want to mention because of the width. This is the Paladin Cremator Great Sword, but I mean, it is a Vordred sword. Here's a nice one, Night Stalker's Manslayer. This is a big weapon. Look at that. Too big, 100k. This has got to be the biggest weapon in the game, or at least one of the biggest weapons in the game. The sheer size of this thing. Look at that. Next, we've got the Last Redemption. This is another nice big weapon. Absolutely love it. Here's another one, the Ultimate Dragon Lord Great Sword. This is a giant thing. Look at that. Void Paladin Slayer Blade. This is one of those wide weapons. The Battlon War Beast Blades. These are awesome. They are just so big and bulky. They look great. Cleavers of Madness. This is one of the few Darkon weapons that are massive. Dual Blades of Domination. Look at that. The Great Saw Blades of Eminence. This is huge. Look at the size of those. The Great Swords of Madness, yet another Darkon one, and this is nice and big. Absolutely love the look of these. The High Celestial Protectors Blades. Now these are members only, but pretty good size. The Infernal Generals Destroyers. Nice, bulky weapons. I was pretty much sticking with swords, but I did want to mention some gauntlets are actually pretty big as well. So if you are a gauntlet fan, there are some options out there where there's big claws or big gauntlets, but I'm more into larger swords and things like that. Since I'm going off the sword topic a bit, I can mention this, the Galactic Gladdenster multi-purpose guns. These are fairly large, so just want to mention that, but they're not the biggest. The biggest I own are these ones right here. Look at the size of those. So I may as well mention a pole arm as well. This is a really nice big scythe. And speaking of scythe, this is also really nice. Very large weapon and looks great. And speaking of items that look great, the Ungodly Reavers of Nolgath has to be mentioned simply because they are so big and old school. We do have a few cool variants of these as well, so you certainly have some options to go for. But there we go, that covers some of the big weapons I own, hopefully giving you guys some suggestions as to what big weapons you might want to go for. If you made it this far into the video, post a secret word dragon into the comments. Thanks for watching, we'll see you guys in the next one.